I'm gonna tell you this about Johnny Moe. Johnny Moe was one character, but I was in the pen with a dude had a wicked laugh. You could hear it through the whole building. The happiest soul in prison. I'm gonna call him Mukes for privacy purposes. And I used to be like Mute, and he because he had all day and the rest of the night. They didn't give him a sentence. They just handed him a grandfather clock. You get out when this motherfucker stop working. That's how much time. I think he had like 300, 400 years. Because I used to be in there with dudes that would be arguing over who had the most time. Like really, like they would be ready to squabble. Like, no, nigga, I got double life plus triple life running bow-legged plus life without in 400 years. And I'm be sitting there like with my little 7 years. I'm like, and they like, you don't tell them you got them 7 seasons, and you got some single digits. You don't be in there, trying to act tough and talking that shit. Man, I want to go home and go around them killers, them lifers. Don't you? Because all lifers wear watches. I'm like, why they wearing watches? Ain't nobody going nowhere. All lifers wear watches, man.
Why?
Because they drink plenty of water and they walk slow. That's the first thing they're going to tell you when you get in there. When I first got there, I thought I was a fly nigga. I was in there on a high-powered case, and I walked up on this old dude. I didn't even know him. I walked up to him. Hey, man, I'm a player, man. I'm trying to feel my way around the yard. And the old dude turned around. I know he had one of them big-ass key shoes in his pocket. Ain't no doubt in my mind. He turned around with that jean jacket on, because them dudes in prison, they wear them jean jackets till they get out. Like that jacket you got on, they never take it off. You have a salt stain, but they be cut underneath it. So I walked up on him. I was like, yeah, man, say, old dude, player, I'm a player, man, I'm a player. And I told this bro to send me $200. He turned around, he looked at me, he said, say, young nigga, first of all, you ain't no player. You's a sucker. I said, what? Now I'm ready to fight, knowing I'm gonna get massacred. That I'm jumpy. He said, you's a sucker, just like me. He said, nigga, all the players out there is wearing alligator boots up to here, riding Rolls Royces with alligator jackets on. He said, nigga, you sucked up in here with me. Then he turned around and he said, and furthermore, and I'm just saying no disrespect to the ladies, but I got to quote it like I smote it. He say, and stop telling a bitch to send you $200. And he was like, the bitch might have wanted to send you 400. Nigga, just tell the bitch to send you some paper. And walked off. He said, you ain't no player. You's a sucker. You got sucked up in here just like me, nigga. All the players, and he popped his collar on me. All the players out there is riding in Rolls Royces with alligator boots up to here. And it was about 90 degrees outside. He telling me niggas got on boots. He had triple life without, plus 409 years, some old crazy shit, and kept it moving. Damn. So to you youngsters out there, God forbid if you get in them stoops, they gonna tell you, young man, drink plenty of water and walk slow. Because you ain't going nowhere. And if you drink plenty of water, you're gonna do is walk slow. Cold, man. I was in there with Mukes. Mukes was so cold. I'm like, Mukes, what you in here for? Mukes used to, I don't know if it was LA, I believe it was, or one of these little spots, so don't y'all come YouTube inquiring mind ass want to know like I was lying, because I ain't got a lie to kick it, and this is free. I ain't getting no money for these interviews, so don't trip. I was like, Mukes, what you in here for? Oh, man. But bottom line is, Mukes had a doctor, and him and the doctor, Mukes would take the homeless people and take them to the hotel, to the motel, and he would put them in the bathtub, he would knock them out, and put them in the bathtub with ice water and ice and all that. This is in his transcripts. And then the Jewish doctor would steal all the kidneys and, the vital parts out of motherfucker and leave them in the tub. And he was snatching homeless people off the benches out there, because back then it was only a few homeless people on the bench. I believe it was in LA. And I remember that story. But I was in prison with that dude. So the moral of the story, Muke was so happy in prison because he wasn't never going nowhere. One day Muke said, man, I'm getting a family visit. I'm like, how this nigga getting a family visit? You got treacherous crimes. Because in there, you don't get a conjugal visit if you got rape, arson, shit like that that can really get people fucked off. So you don't get that action, right? You know, it's called a barnyard visit. You go out there with your wife and you do your thing and she bring you food. Police stick their finger all in your food, make sure no knives, no guns. And they put you in the back of a guard shack and let you get your little barnyard on like a rooster. And then you come out in a couple of days. So I'm like, Mukes, man, what's up, man? Man, I'm going in the barnyard. He had a bra about this big, man, because you want to see some big ones? Go to the penitentiary, because their philosophy is a big girl is cool in the winter, cool in the summer, and warm in the winter. And then the only thing gonna run for you up in there, man, is something big, because the only woman ever stayed down with your ass in a penitentiary. If you think your girlfriend with them spiderweb eyelashes, them tarantula eyelashes that weave, that fat ass and them titties, gonna get on that bus stop on Crenshaw to go to that Greyhound and don't get picked up by them fools out there on the streets before she get to the prison, you in trouble. You're gonna need a fat girl that's gonna run for you. She gonna pay like she weigh, and she's gonna run like Seattle Slew. So when you go in the visiting room in the prison, you be seeing some dudes in there with some girls big as that light. No disrespect, we love them. To all the girls that run for niggas in jail, we love you. We love you, man, because without y'all, we wouldn't be nothing. I'd rather have one of them when I was in there than Beyonce, because she gonna stay down. Beyonce's gonna be like the statue. Only woman ever really stayed down with a nigga in prison is the Statue of Liberty, and she cracking up. She held her hand up long as she could, and she started cracking up. That's it. So if you think your girlfriend, I'm gonna get out and I'm gonna be a fireman, when you get out, she gonna be this big. The homie's gonna be done went through her. And and I say this, ladies, forgive me, because it's not to the ladies, but this to the streets. The only bitch that ever stayed down with a nigga while he was in jail was the Statue of Liberty, and she cracking up. That visiting room be having some, they be lifting up the vending machine, big ones. And then the brothers be in love with them. No, they be taking care of them. These brothers in jail that's taking care of their families on the streets with their jail prison number. Wow. And hustling.
Wow. Now, is there any other cold people like Mukes and Johnny Moe that you ran into?
No,
Yeah.
but I was working in 1750, which is high power in the men's central jail. They call it red wristbands they give you. That mean like keep away when you got a high power case, newsworthy and some more shit. So I'm working up there and as a trustee late night. So this brother, man, he was swole, man. This nigga was like 22-inch arms, big ass back, but he couldn't never wash his back. So he told me one day, he said, man, you the new trustee? I'm like, yeah, what's up, brother? How you doing? Because I'm non-confrontational. Unless you fuck with me, then I'm going to give it to you, news, weather, and sports. Other than that, I don't want no problems. Like literally, I can count the fights I had on one pinky because I'm not into problems. And he's like, yeah, man, could you take that brush over there on that stick and wash my back with it? Now, he behind the bars, right? So you had to take the stick and you got to take he had a routine he did where he'd take the scrub brush that he had a clean one and then you put it on the stick and then he put it in this water that he make and then you hit his back like that. Because he at the bar, he couldn't reach his back. That's how big he was, right? He couldn't do like this. So I'm like, yeah, bro, I'll help you out. So I went to do it, whoop, 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 whoop. And he said, yeah, man, they're good looking out, youngster. Well, he was one of them dudes facing 100 years, 200. He was facing, when he used to go to court, the dudes, legal files used to be this high, man, in his arms. Like dudes, and they be having cases, man, they be having stacks of files that you would not believe. And he's like, yeah, man, that little punk ass motherfucking trustee before you, I had to bust his ass up. I said, bust him up? I said, how you get to him in my mind? He said, yeah, because I used to tell him to help me out with my back, scrubbing my back because I can't reach and to be sweating and itching that little cell. And then he used to poke me with the thing, like fucking with me, talking shit. I guess dudes from another gang or something. He used to be disrespecting the OG. He said, but I tricked his ass, though, my leg. One day I rigged that door open and left it open, and he came with that same bullshit. I said, man, hit my back for me, youngster. And he said the youngster did it, and he poked him with it on purpose, right? And he said he slid that door open and grabbed his ass and whooped the DNA off of him. Yeah. And then that same dude, they was taking him to death row. San Quentin, because I believe when you go to death row from the men's central jail, don't quote me on it, but I believe they take you on a helicopter straight there. And uh, they was bringing him down the hall, right? He was shackled now in the county jail. They always say, dead man walking. And you got to turn around and face the wall like this. R. Kelly tried that shit on me. I'll tell you that another day. He tried it on us once before. And you face the wall like this. So by me being a trustee and a radical, I'm like, man, I ain't turning around. Fuck that. So when I was walking by, the brother say, hey, little brother, you ever heard the story of the three minds? And I told this story before on other podcasts. I said, nah, I never heard the story of the three minds. He said, well, I was in this store once before. And in the store, they sold the white mind, the Chinese mind, and the black mind. So I said to the man in the store, excuse me, sir, how much you want for the white mind? He said, oh, for that one, Malik, I'll take $1 million. I said, well, that's relatively inexpensive, being that the white mind invented the Constitution, got a lot of contributions to American culture. So I shopped some more in the store, and I ran across the section that sold the Chinese mind. So I asked the man in the store, I said, excuse me, sir, how much you want for the Chinese mind, which is Mongolian for all of us? And he said, oh, for that one, I'll take $2 million, Malik. I said, well, that's relatively inexpensive. Being that the Chinese invented the art of war, they did a lot of buildings and stuff, used helium to float bricks to the top. So I asked the man in the store, I said, how much you want for that? He said, I'll take $2 million. So I ran across a section that sold the black mine. And I asked the man in the store, I said, excuse me, sir, what do you want for the black mine? He said, oh, for that one, Malik, I'll take $10 million. I said, you want $1 million for the white mine and their endeavors, $2 million for the Chinese mine and their endeavors. Why do you want so much for the black mine? He said, because the black mine hasn't been used. It's still in the box. Oh, my God. You want $1 million for the white mine and their endeavors, $2 million for the Asian mine and his endeavors. Why do you want so much for the Crips and Bloods mine and the Vatos in the neighborhood? Because their mine is still in the box. It's never been used. So a mine is a terrible thing to waste. Yeah. And when we're talking about our youngsters out there, and if you got some youngsters at home and you need somebody to talk to them, get my number from Wild Moguls. I'll help you. I don't give a fuck how wild they are. The wilder they are, the more I want to be involved. The more murderous, the more combative they are, call Peacemaker, Malik Spellman. I got you for free. You got a school or something that you need help in, get me to it, and I got you. But get me the worst people you got on campus or don't call me. Because I didn't deal with gang members. Anybody can be a gang member. Anybody can be a member of a band. But are you Luther Vandross? Anybody can be a member of the YMCA. But are you the lifeguard? I dealt with serial killers. So I understand the members, because everybody in the gang is not putting in work. There's only a handful that's putting in work, and the rest fear and respect. So I didn't deal with gang members as America call them. That's just the name they put on there to stamp on the check to justify them getting federal funding. Yeah. Justify getting police and other shit. I dealt with dudes, homie, that had several homicides. So it's a big difference. So before your child gets to that, let me know. And then look out for your kids, the stuff that they do. Like if they got their birth year tatted on their leg. What does that mean? One little girl told me she got that so if she get killed, that they can identify her faster. Then they got kids in Compton over at the little ambulance training school where they teaching kids to use tourniquets, just in case, God forbid, one of them gets shot or something. They teach them how to teach on their way home from school. Got them in their book bags. This throughout the United States. What is our children? On one side, you got the school, the aviation, celebrity helicopters. Then down the street, you got an ambulance school that's teaching kids to be EMTs and paramedics. But in the meantime, when they coming by from school, my boy teaching them and giving them tourniquets to keep in their book bags. So if one of them gets shot, they can stop the bleeding. What does this society come to? See, I never really paid attention to Charlie Kirk because I'm my own intellectual being and I have my own decisions to make. But I do appreciate two things that he said, and I don't want to see no one killed. I don't give a fuck who it is. I'd rather us work it out and get to some sort of amicable agreement and then move forward as human beings. But it's two things that man said. And no, I'm not a Charlie Kirk fan, and no, I'm not against him. I know nothing about him. But he said there's been too many mass shootings in America, not to mention gang murders. And then the man was killed. So in my opinion, it's just my opinion, I think that's what God used him for, because his last words reflect what his duty really was. Whether he did it or not, that's between him and the Most High. But those are his last words that I remember. What is that telling society? They say signs and symbols are truly for men and women of understanding. So what sign of your Lord will you deny? Not to mention the UFOs that's coming. Come on, man. You got alien craft that's destined for America, and you still got fools asking you where you from. I'm damn near ready to tell motherfucker I'm from Mars. So if Mr. Alien, when you get here, you better bring a pistol, and they gonna ask you where you, and don't wear no funny ass colors. Just wear black or white. And that's all I'm gonna tell you, man. We are living in the autonomous automobiles, high technology, cameras everywhere, drones, Big Brother spying on shit, and inquisitive ass podcasters, and a nigga still ask you where you from in the year 2025. So when Mr. Martian come, you better be ready for them questions. Where you from? And if Jesus come, God forbid, you better be asking them questions. Where you from, Jesus? Jerusalem or Mecca or Medina? Well, you better know what side of the tracks you on, because that's how bad it's got.